Welcome to the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast, the show about life on the street as a beat cop and life in the shop as a woodworker. They pull no punches and tell it like it is, so buckle in and get ready. Now, here are your hosts from Marazzo Woodworking, Mike Marazzo
and Tits McGee.
Hi there.
Howdy.
Welcome to episode 65 of the Handcuffs and Sawdust podcast. I'm your host, Mike Marazzo, and sitting in today with me, I have a special guest, not Tits McGee, Matt Maynard from Patriotic Pines NC, North Carolina.
Yep.
How you doing, Matt?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us today. Us being me and Grogu's. I got two Grogu's with me. I don't know if you can see him. He's got my wig on from last week. I was wearing a mullet.
I remember hearing about that. Yep.
So I haven't gotten him any glasses yet, but he's rocking that mullet. I actually like it.
It's going to get a little sawdust in the wig if it stays there.
It probably will. Yeah, I was making a lot of sawdust yesterday and had to clear off this whole bench just to set this stuff up for today.
No doubt.
So good morning. I'm sorry about the noise, everyone. I have landscapers working right next to my window. Matt is on overnights, so I'm truly honored that you're up at 11:30 in the morning on your time. What time do you normally get up on your days off?
On my days off on nights,
Yeah.
Well, I have an 8-year-old boy, so I help as much as I can get him out the door to school. Sometimes I'll take him, come back, take a nap. On my days off, I usually only stay up till like midnight or 1.
Oh,
and
okay.
it doesn't mess with me too much.
Because you're young.
So,
how old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh, yeah. What a young
I stopped counting
lad.
after 21.
Did you?
Yep.
You're not supposed to stop counting till you get over 50, I think. I'm not really sure.
I'll be retired at 50. So.
Woohoo! You lucky man.
Well,
how many years is that?
It'll be 30.
30 years.
And it'll be what I got about 13 years ago.
Good for you, man. I got started late, so I'm still going. For
As long as I keep my
more
sick
work
time
days.
going.
Yeah. Do you guys carry over sick time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. What a noble concept. We
So
get like 4 sick days.
I'm close. I'm close to about a year worth of sick time.
Holy cow. We'll
Yep.
never get, we don't, what is that called? Accrue? We don't accrue any sick time, nor can we accrue holiday time or vacation time. So it's use it or lose it.
And it resets every year?
Yeah,
Or-
so you know how you get time due or time owed due when you work overtime and you don't take pay? Do you guys have that option? All right.
Yeah, comp time type.
Comp time, yeah. So we have a comp time bank that they want you to keep 80 hours in it. So at the end of the fiscal year, you'll get paid out all your comp time and they'll leave 80 hours in your bank. So you can get the extra 80 if you request it, but it's kind of like for emergency purposes, you know? So
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We get holiday, plenty of it. And then if we don't use, not holiday, vacation time.
Okay.
And if we don't use our vacation, it automatically rolls over as well into sick time.
Oh.
Because we can only keep like 220 hours of vacation.
Okay.
And then when July comes around, it'll dump into sick time if you have anything over that.
Okay. That's interesting. They capped our comp time at like 440 hours.
Ours is capped at like 40 or 50. But
okay.
it's usually like we have to use it within a certain amount of time or get paid for it type thing.
All right. And you guys get flex time because you work too many hours a month, like 88 hours every 2 weeks. So you get 8 hours they owe you. How do you guys get that?
No, I don't know what they did. They changed our time a couple years ago where I don't know, it all equals out.
They're making out somehow.
So like the hourly rate for patrol is different than the hourly rate for the 8 to 5.
Oh, okay. What's 8 to 5, like detectives?
Yeah, that administration.
Okay.
Our non-sworn people.
Okay.
CR, community resource, and school resource.
Okay.
So they're all 80 hours or 40-hour a week.
Okay. Yeah, we because we work 88 hours a pay period because we would do 12s like you. So they owe us 8 hours of time off each pay period. So we either, if we have the manpower, they make you take it. So you can either take all 8 hours and then add 4 hours of personal time or time due and have an extra day off. Or you can break it in, just start only working 2 8-hour shifts. So you got 4 hours off at the beginning or the ending of your shift.
Yeah.
When you're short, they got to pay that to you in overtime because it's over the 80 hours, for the 2 weeks. So works out pretty good, but that goes into your bank as well. So, and then May 1st ours rolls over. Now I have 2 hours left out of my comp time because of my surgery. I had to use all my sick time, all my personal time, all my vacation days, and all my comp time. And I just used the 8 hours of my comp time on Friday so I could have a wisdom tooth pulled.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've got 2 hours left, and I've got 24 days of work left. So hopefully nothing happens in the next 5 weeks.
Do you have a countdown calendar clock somewhere?
In my head, and I just look at my calendar and go, 24 days of work left.
No
5
doubt.
weeks. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had a
I've been trying to find one that covers like 14 years, but I can't get a countdown.
It doesn't go
clock
up
for
that high enough? Yeah, it does. They do it in hours, don't they? Or is it 14 years, 3 days, 16?
If I ever have an office again, I'm going to put one up.
Oh, you're looking for the actual clock. You can find an app that does that.
Yeah, no, I want a clock so when people walk in, they know.
When you go back to the investigations?
Maybe. We'll see.
Or you just stick it in the window of your squad.
Yep.
Just driving around. People are like, what the hell does that mean? Never you mind.
In that amount of time, you won't see me anymore.
That's right.
We'll
so
disappear.
where I, and you don't have to give me your town where you work, but like North Carolina is a pretty good sized state. Are you in the middle, in the south, east?
I guess you would call it middle, near Raleigh. I do not work for Raleigh, but near Raleigh.
All right, cool. And,
a smaller agency. We got about 40 people.
That's bigger than mine. Yeah, we're supposed to have 33.
I came from Greensboro. We had about 700, 750.
Oh, nice.
So it's
getting
a big
up near
change.
Brandon. I mean, there's 1,100 people or whatever the hell he's got in the department with helicopters and boats and shit. No boats or helicopters by you? Cars.
Oh, we can call one. We can call one up pretty quick if we need it.
The county?
State.
Oh, okay.
Highway Patrol has them.
All right. Yeah, we've got access to the state's helicopter if needed, but it better be something really important.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously have to approve it, but if we need it, it's there.
We used to use their plane on the homicide team I was on for getting aerial shots and photography of the our homicide scenes, because back then we didn't have drones.
I was about to say, no, drones make it easy.
Yeah, we'd drive out, jump in the state police, like Cessna, whatever it was, and they'd fly us over the scene, which was actually pretty cool. But now we just got a drone, and we have 2 drone pilots, I think, in our department. So, you guys have a drone?
They're putting it in the budget for this year for 2.
Okay.
I think. We've been asking for it for the last couple of years, but
cool.
We'll see.
What are you guys going to use it for?
I have no idea. I mean, most of our area is heavily populated housing. We're like a bedroom community for Raleigh. I guess some like search and rescue type stuff. There is some wooded areas and stuff like that, but probably just crime scenes or crash scenes. We get a couple bad crashes a year, and that would make it a lot nicer to see it from the sky than on the road.
Do you guys have a crash team?
We do.
Reconstruction? Okay.
Yep. There's actually a guy that's going through that right now, so we should have 3 or 4 total.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got 2 guys on our department that do that.
We have a section of 540, which is the loop that goes around Raleigh, and it's a racetrack out there, and that's where some pretty bad crashes are. It's always around there.
Yeah, we see a bunch of bad crashes, unfortunately. We have a lot of, I'm going to say highways, because they're not. To me, a highway is when you're there's no exits, right? Or there's dedicated exits. But we have a lot of streets that have 45 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour. And in between forest preserves or along the airport, along O'Hare Airport, people do 90, 100 miles an hour along this strip. And we have plenty of bad accidents. So the task force that runs the homicide team has the crash investigation team as well. So now when there's a big major crash and a death, a fatal, same like a homicide, this team's activated and you get 10 or 12 crash investigators out there doing the work to measure everything and do all that kind of stuff and fly the drone. And it's actually pretty cool work.
We've reached out. We've used a couple of the state and Raleigh as well. They come out and help us if needed.
Ah, nice, good. So Matt, how did you get started in woodworking?
It started when I was a wee little boy. My grandfather actually had a basement shop, and I would always go down there and we'd build stuff for his house, or like simple things, bird houses, or just fixes on his house. The Pinewood Derby cars, we always made it at his house. So he started it. He's passed away, but I got a bunch of his old hand tools and stuff that I grew up using.
That's awesome.
Hanging in my shop. But he's the one that got me into it, I would say. And I was actually considering naming my Patriotic Pines as the Bosch basement. His last name was Bosch.
Okay.
But I didn't want to have to explain every time someone asked, like, oh, your last name's Bosch. Or I was like, oh, just... But that's where my grandfather got me into it.
That's awesome.
And I didn't, like, growing up, I did a lot. Went off to college, got into law enforcement, lived in apartments. And probably, I guess 3 or 4 years ago, I kept seeing this guy that's actually local to me. I didn't know how local he was, but he was making the flags that everyone made or makes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I swear I could do that. I'm like, that can't be that hard. And I tried it, and it kind of stuck. I posted it just saying, like, hey, look what I made. People were like, where can I buy one?
Yeah, right.
So, and that flag's hanging in my old lieutenant's office still. The first one I made, it's still
That's
there.
That's awesome.
So I've kind of slowed down on the flags. There's that I'm saying all the time.
It's quite right.
So I've slowed down on that. I've done cutting boards. I've done a couple of small pieces of furniture, anything custom. If someone's willing to pay and give me some time to get it right, I'll do it. I don't do anything big. I built a coffee bar. That was probably the biggest piece of furniture I ever made.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Is that for
it was
a
probably
customer?
like 3 feet wide. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that was back in the day of pines, Patriotic Pines. It was out of pine, but came out good. It had the matte chalk paint on there.
Yeah.
I think it came out good. Routed the edges, made it look fancy. Put some slats on the bottom, kind of make it look a little nicer, I guess.
Yeah.
Put hooks underneath for the mugs and stuff like that. Came out pretty good. I didn't charge enough, but...
Yeah, of course we never do, or I never used to. Do they still use it? Do you still see them or talk to them?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep, still in their kitchen.
Excellent. So success.
Mm-hmm.
So the pines was because you just did most of your work out of pine? Or because of the flags?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking like all the flags and stuff I was making, it was pine. Okay. And it's North Carolina. We're pine trees everywhere. It might be our state tree's a dogwood, but my yard has pines. Plenty everywhere has pines.
Are you looking at cutting them down and then using that wood?
No.
No. Not so much.
Somebody could haul that off, yeah. Yep. They've actually... Most neighbors in this neighborhood have cut out all their pines. We have a bunch of oaks and better trees here.
Okay.
And the pines, they had a hurricane here a while ago, and it
reached the middle of the state?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We're only about 2 hours away from the beach.
Okay.
From my house. Where I work is like 45 minutes away towards Raleigh.
Wow. All right. A currently looking in North Carolina at houses, just popping up stuff. I'm looking for retirement homes, not a retirement home where a bunch of old people live, but a home that I can retire into when we leave Illinois.
I'll say there's a good one that just got built in my town. They'll take care of you.
Oh yeah, you know the person?
I mean, they have a nice cafeteria. They have
retire an actual old
center.
person's home. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. I heard there's a company moving to North Carolina that you might like to move close to.
And who would that be? Surf Prep. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you to Surf Prep for sponsoring this episode. You can find what you need at www.surfprepsanding.com. And if you use the code BOOK'EM, you get 10% off. So do that, because you can buy your sandpaper in bulk and save some dough at the same time.
I need to buy Surf Prep.
I love mine. It's I was just doing a ton of sanding myself. I haven't emptied my bag yet, though. It's been over a year. I should probably look into that.
Yeah, maybe take a look.
Yeah,
see what's in there.
I'm kind of busy. So
I was going to buy one last year after Workbench Con, and then we moved into a new house, and outside kind of took over. I didn't do much anything in the shop last summer, and I didn't want to drop that kind of money for something that might sit for a while. But now I'm kind of back in there, and I've actually official side business of like home repairs. And those Surf Prep setups would be good with the dust extractor and stuff.
Yeah. What are you doing as a side business for home repairs?
So it is a handyman type business.
Okay.
It is focusing on seniors, the elderly. And I always tell people it's like I'm a grandkid for the elderly that don't have grandkids to do the projects that they need done.
That's awesome. We were talking about it at Workbench Con, but for those people that don't know, so you're pretty much going to do what won't you do? Will you build a wall?
Depends on what it is or what it's for. Like I'm not a licensed contractor, so there's certain things that we can and can't do as general handymen in North Carolina.
Okay.
I can do fixtures on plumbing and electrical, but I'm not running wires. I'm not changing pipes in your basement, that type of thing. For one, I don't want to get hemmed up by the state. Two, that's not my expertise, and I'm not going to act like I know what I'm doing.
Right, because sometimes if you're acting like you know what you're doing and you're working with electricity, bad things happen.
Correct. Like yesterday I had a job, and it was 2 door jams at this lady's house that it was forced open. So fixed 2 of those. Never done it before, but I was very comfortable doing it. No problem.
Are you out by
and it's a good way to learn stuff. Yep.
Okay.
My wife is part of it. She's more of the social side, where we'll also do like safety inspections of your house. The whole goal is to keep the seniors, the elders, staying in their house as long as possible. So anything from switching out doorknobs to make it easier, or grab bars, that kind of stuff. Okay.
Awesome, Matt. That's fantastic. What's the name of the business, if you want to give it a shout out?
Stay Home Maintenance.
Stay Home Maintenance, because you want them to stay in their home.
Yep.
Incorporated. Exactly. How did that go?
And what?
To incorporate, is that easy?
It was easy. We talked to a CPA. She took care of it all for us. Easy peasy.
Are there options like incorporate or LLC, or which one's better or which one's not? How's that work?
Yeah, she spoke to us about the LLC and the incorporation, and based on what we're projecting, as well as like self-employment tax here, and I guess anywhere, I guess it's a federal thing. It seemed like it was a better route to just go ahead and do the corporation.
Okay.
Because
congratulations.
Like on a LLC, you have to pay yourself.
Yeah.
On a corporation, and I could be wrong, I'm not a tax expert. This is what was told to me. Corporation, you pay yourself, but it's just I can't remember the wording, but a salary that makes sense based on what you've made.
Okay.
And it's a distribution at that point. It's not a salary. So you're not paying the self-employment tax.
Oh,
You're not
all
paying
right.
the payroll tax or all that kind of stuff.
Good to know. I don't know if I'll ever make the
So
business.
see how it works out.
Yeah, good luck. Sounds like you've
Thanks.
been busy. And how do you do it on your days off?
Mm-hmm.
How about
I actually have a job
nights?
tomorrow morning too.
Oh, okay. Well, you just answered my question.
So I'm going to do it tomorrow morning, and it'll only take an hour or two, hanging up
Okay.
some molding and shoe molding,
Okay.
and I'll come home, take a nap in the afternoon, be ready for work.
Man, I don't know how you do it, man. I need to sleep 8 hours. And even then I'm crabby.
Well,
So
we're young.
I tried
I'm
doing
young.
that flipping thing that you're doing, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
called an asshole by my wife and said, just stay on night shift. So I did. So at least my patience run thin when I have no sleep.
I enjoy the stuff at work more on night shift. It's more fun.
Okay.
I do not like my days off because the first day off is ruined because you're trying to get
you
a little
don't
bit
have
of
a
sleep.
day off. You have to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
the
my
problem.
complaint with it. Yep.
Yeah. That was always my problem too. People are like, hey, you're off tomorrow. I'm like, well, I have to sleep because I come home in the morning.
Yep.
So what do you want to do after 4 p.m.? That's how I was, even on a weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Since you have a young boy, that makes sense that you flip around. Because my kids are grown, so it doesn't matter to me anymore if I sleep all day. I miss those days, though.
Good.
My favorite shift was always 3 to 11s. So I could... First of all, the shift was awesome. We were busy. We had rush hour. We had fights. We had bars, all that stuff. And then you get home at like midnight. You don't really have to... Or go out, whatever. A lot of the younger guys would go out. But I would get the kids off to the school bus in the morning and hang out with the bus moms. And then I started doing Bus Mom Morning Breakfast Club on Fridays. We started doing that.
Oh, wow.
That was fun. Yeah. So, but on nights, no, nothing. So I give you kudos for working in the morning before you take a nap. You said you didn't even say before you sleep. So, like, what are you gonna do?
I'll sleep tonight.
Okay. No, tonight.
And then
You go to bed at like
wake
midnight
up.
or something?
Probably. And then wake up with the kid, get him gone, and then go do the job and come back and
then you get some
try to get
6
another
hours
2-3 hours.
Oh, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
That sounds
I'm
like
fine.
good.
I mean, if I sleep
Okay.
6 or 7 tonight, it should be all right.
All right. What do you got going on in your shop other than your side gig?
Just, projects I started months ago that I haven't finished. Same old, same old.
Like what?
I got a-
You got client stuff you got going or personal stuff?
Client. And it's both are like, just make it whenever. It's no rush.
I hate
And
those because then I just let them sit.
I agree. Yeah.
I need a
There's
deadline.
2 sitting on my workbench right now that I need to go do stuff with. And I walk by it every day and I'm like, maybe tomorrow. But one's a cutting board that will have a juice groove. And on the back, they want their last name engraved with epoxy.
Okay.
And the other one is just a challenge coin flag.
How big?
The 36 by 19 and a half.
Yeah.
And every other, I guess it's the white rows will be the holders for the challenge coins.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. And it's mostly all cut. But
It's just sitting there, needs to be stained and assembled.
it's going to be a burnt
Just burnt.
chart with a torch. Yep.
Yeah, but no stain? Okay. That's interesting.
I just hit it with a torch a little bit on every stripe. Obviously, the darker stripes, I hit it harder.
Yeah.
And
okay.
once you put some poly or something on there, it looks great.
How do you do your shelves?
I actually buy the 1x, or not the 1x. It's like a 1/4 inch by 1.5.
Okay.
Little slats. And then take that 1/4 inch off those stripes.
Yeah.
And then attach it like an L, just like an L at the bottom. Okay. And then run it through the table saw to make an angled groove in it.
The groove. Okay. Yeah, I had some guy just reach out to me about doing a coin flag, but he wants to use shell casings for the coins. I wasn't really sure how big. So I'm like, I pulled out, when we go to the range, I like scoop up brass and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I emptied my brass on the counter, and I only have. First of all, I only took 45 caliber, and then I only have 40 brass pieces. So I guess I stopped
20
scooping
coins.
up. Yeah, and he's like, "That's not enough." No, he said, "I'll be getting some brass soon." I don't know what this guy does, but if he's a cop or if he just likes to shoot, but he said he's going to be coming into some brass. So he reached out to me on Messenger from my Facebook account, and I actually just reminded myself I haven't gotten back to him with a price.
Have you made those before?
No, not the shell case. I specifically got the shell casings to make them stars in a flag, not to make coin holders out of them. So have you done it with the coin holders?
No. Maybe if it's a solid piece, maybe, but
because I use this as a, if you're listening, you can't see this, but if you're on the YouTubes, I use this as an example. Walnut with these are 9, is he 9? Yeah, 9mm casings. And then this is from my buddy Nelson over there at CWO Workshop.
do it on a drill press or what?
I think I would have to do the stripes on a drill press so I can get the casings in there, because you can't, in my opinion, hold your drill steady enough to go straight.
Yeah.
I was
going to say if it's a solid board, or how some people make flags out of good plywood.
Yeah.
Just do it on the CNC.
Yeah, that's a possibility as well. But he wants
probably be a lot more exact.
Poplar for the flag. So I could do a one piece of poplar, maybe, and then stain it, and then engrave the stripes into it, and then maybe, I don't know. I kind of don't want to do it. So if I just don't answer him, he'll go away. Maybe. I don't know. So other than those two things in your shop that are client stuff, just sitting around waiting for you to get to them, anything else that you're working on for your house or anything like that? Building?
No, getting I'm a big yard guy, so season's coming to get the yard right. When we got the house, it was weeds, clay, trash from construction, all that kind of stuff. So
okay,
it's getting there, and that's a lot of my time last summer was spent in the yard.
Did you buy a brand new house?
Yeah, we had it built.
Oh, look at you.
Well, we couldn't find one that fit what we needed or wanted. So our house is all one story, except this bonus room.
Is that above the garage?
This is above my son's bedroom and the guest bedroom.
Okay.
The garage is actually wide open on top. I can walk through this door next to me, and it's just the attic is just wide open.
Okay, that's good if you want to have some lighting and all that kind of stuff.
We have another storage area on behind me that is where the HVAC units are, and it's got a little bit of flooring for storage, but
okay.
The rest of the house is wide open in the attic.
Is your shop in the garage or in the basement?
It is in the garage. No basement here.
Oh, you know what? I didn't want a basement in my next home because I'm sick of the worrying about sump pumps failing and power going out and water coming in.
I have a sump pump. It's in my yard.
It's in your yard.
Because our drainage here sucks.
What's it pumping? Oh.
Pumping
out the yard.
Hundreds of gallons, if not thousands, every time it rains.
Wow. Okay. Where's it sending it to?
I put a pipe. We have a city drain at the back property line, and PVC pipe goes in there and dumps it.
Okay. And
then I have another pipe that drains to the front.
All right. So you don't have to worry about tying into the city lines. They don't care.
Yep.
Okay.
I got their permission because they didn't want to do anything to help me out.
Lovely. So it's kind of like a French drain, but with a pump.
Yep. I got about 30 feet of French drain, probably about 200 feet, 300 feet of pipe in my yard, and did it all myself.
Did you use a backhoe?
I used a trencher.
Okay.
And then up near the house, it was, of course, hand dug.
Yeah.
So
Damn,
it was
that's a lot
fun.
of work.
But
was
my
fun.
yard is dry now. My yard is dry.
Okay, good for
I
you,
have
man.
4 drains in my yard, 5 drains, surface drains.
Okay.
So instead of spending $7,000 for a company to do it, I spent less than $1,000 doing it.
Wow. Including your time?
I did it on the weekends. Yeah.
Good.
Just knock little parts out at a time.
Good job, man. No, that's way too much back-breaking work for me. I used to like doing that kind of stuff, but...
Well, that trencher, man, that was amazing.
Is that a portable one that you walk behind? And it's got
Yep.
the controllers and it just digs stuff out?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just got like a big chainsaw type looking thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if I had to do that by hand, I'd probably still be out there digging in the hard clay.
Yeah. How far down did you have to go?
Near the street, I went down to probably about 2.5 feet to get it into the sewer drain.
Okay.
And then everywhere else in the yard, it was probably about 1.5 feet
Okay.
deep.
You guys
So
don't
it's
have
not
frost lines and stuff like that, so
No, we don't have to worry about any of that.
that must be nice. Yeah.
Although today it's like 40 degrees out with a 20-mile-an-hour wind.
Well, I guess that might be brisk down by you.
Well, like 2 days ago it was 75.
Screw you. I'm at
I mean,
40
my grass
right
is
now.
green.
Yeah, and it's been cold. We had snow on Saturday.
We didn't get any snow at all
was
this year.
gone. Yeah, my landscaper came on Saturday to drop off gravel. He's like, "It didn't snow by me." He goes, "I was kind of shocked to see all this here." He goes, "I won't be able to work tomorrow." I'm like, "I'm sure, because there's snow everywhere." So it's finally melted enough for them to get back in there and start finishing the job. But that's how it is up here in Chicago. You know, it'll be 70 degrees one day and it's 25 degrees and snowing the next day. And it's happened this year already a couple times like that. So I'm not a fan. So I can't wait to move down south somewhere where there is no snow and no frost lines and any of that other BS.
Yep.
Matter of fact,
Not bad.
John Erickson from O Dark 30 Woodworks is actually right now going to look at a house for me in Alabama with a realtor because I don't live down there and I can't go look at it personally. So I'm on their text string, and they're actually going to go look at 2 houses for me. So I don't know what any of this means because I really wasn't ready to buy a house. So, but I found something I liked, and it's near John, so it'd be cool to have someone in the area where you're retiring and that you know. And it wouldn't be for a couple of years. I mean, we'd buy the house now, but not move for a couple of years. So I'm kind of curious and excited to see how the tour goes. He's going to be looking up into the attics and everything else for me because the first house needs a lot of work, remodeling. It's 20 years old only, but it needs to be remodeled. And I really didn't want to be doing any of that stuff anymore because I've done it on 3 houses already. So
Yeah, our last house, I did that.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Yes.
I'm done.
Everything besides carpet upstairs was changed by me.
Okay.
Countertops, lights, paint, flooring, hardware,
Yeah.
everything.
I've got the kitchen left here in this house and the laundry room. So flooring in the laundry room, cabinets and stuff like that, and then kitchen is from 1987. So cabinets, countertops. It's on hardwood, so I don't have to worry about the flooring. But now I'm thinking maybe after spending enough money for a car on this landscaping, I probably won't get as crazy in the kitchen as I was going to do. Maybe countertops and a sink and some appliances. And make new cabinet
when you
doors.
move, are you selling that house?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wouldn't put too much into it. Just make it look
I know.
somewhat
that's what
modern enough to sell.
my buddies at work. I did 3 bathrooms and everything else. New windows, gutters, siding, soffit, fascia. All that stuff is done. So now with the landscaping, but my buddy's like, "What are you spending that kind of money for? You're going to be moving in a couple of years." I'm like, "Because it looked like Fred Sanford lived in my house. The only thing that was missing was a washing machine on the front porch." So curb appeal makes a big difference if you're selling the house. So maybe if that looks nice, I can maybe not do so much in the kitchen. I don't know.
Yep.
I was just going to paint the carcasses and just make new doors, new countertops, and that's it. That's the plan was until I ripped down the soffits. Now my cabinets only go up so high, and there's exposed plumbing in the wall because these assholes, when they actually use the soffits for running pipe and stuff, so they would run conduit on the outside of the stud, and then it's behind the soffit, so you couldn't see it. But now that I've taken the soffits down, So what I was going to do was just build 12-inch cabinets to go over to the 30-inch cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like I have 42-inch cabinets. And I can offset the back of them so they're not up against the piping and stuff. So they'll be not as shallow. They won't be as deep as on some of them will be shallow, but at least you won't see the conduit or plumbing that's sticking out of the wall for whatever reason.
I was about to ask, are you just going to put the soffit back up? Or?
Nope. I wasn't going to.
At least
painstakingly
ripped
it
there,
out.
You don't need the cabinets that deep. You can't reach way up there anyway.
Yeah, so I'll make some shallow cabinets and then maybe doors. I'll do some new I have oak doors on there. The cabinets are that compressed wood bullshit, but they have solid oak face frames and solid oak doors. But they're old-fashioned doors, so I'm just going to do some shaker doors. Paint everything white, new shaker doors, and that's about it. Backsplash tile, and that's it, I think. I'm not going to go crazy.
Make it look good enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's it for your working in the shop. Nothing like that's all you got going on. You got some stuff you don't want to do, things you have to do.
I need to put all my stickers up from WorkbenchCon.
Me too.
This year and last year.
I haven't. Still from last year.
Well, my plan was to make a wall, get some of that dry erase type stuff.
Yeah.
And just put a frame around it and then put all the stickers on there.
Okay.
Kind of ran out of some wall space. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I just got 2 new cabinets that
are empty
look good.
and blank.
Yeah. But I don't know if I want to put stickers all over the front.
Are they paint cabinets or
I like the clean look.
Cabinets?
They're metal. The front's blue, and then the sides are black or gray.
It just screams stickers.
So, I know. That's what the wife says too. I'm like, then I'm going to have to get a lot more stickers to fill everything up. Because I think it'll just look weird if you start and...
I started on one side or one door of my paint cabinet, and now I'm on the third. I'm on both doors. One side are already done. I'm on third of the way down on the fourth side. And then once that's filled, what happens if when I might take this paint cabinet with me when I move? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, then I don't want to lose all those stickers. So I'd cut it in pieces and then put the pieces of the metal up on the wall. I don't know.
Yep.
Because it's stupid.
That's what people put them on the garage doors and stuff. And I'm like, man, if you move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing, you'll lose all the stickers, but if you feel like you need to clean the garage door before you sell the house.
Yeah, that'd be a pain.
Yep.
I envy people that have shops and garages.
Well, our plan is to maybe build one in the backyard.
Yeah, breaking news. Breaking news. Just gonna build a shop.
We'll see if it
happens.
The plan is to build a mother-in-law suite house, tiny house type thing.
Yeah, okay.
And then on the back side of that, have another about 2-car garage size shop for me.
Awesome.
So I can move all my stuff out there and have it set up how I want.
Okay.
Because the wife still parks in the garage. So everything has to be on the walls.
Right, okay.
So we'll see.
Awesome.
This should be starting soon.
Oh.
If it happens.
Good luck.
It should happen.
Yeah, I hope it does. That one of the things that I'm
nice.
looking for in a house is a house that has a shop. So the one that...
I just can't wait to have a table saw in the middle of the room instead of up against the wall.
Oh, yeah, that would be very nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you have all your stuff on carts, too?
Pretty much. The CNC is permanent. Table saw is permanent since I've upgraded. My table saw used to be mobile. It just used to be a DeWalt contractor style.
Yeah.
And I made a cart for it with a mini outfeed table attached to it.
Okay.
It was nice, too, though, because I could wheel it out of the garage and just have all the dust outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fantastic.
But Mike from Broken Lead Woodworks actually gave me a good deal on his old table saw. It's a Grizzly. So I have a big boy now.
That's awesome. How much did you pay for that?
Everything was about, I think, $700.
Wow, that's a good deal, man.
And the accessories he included on there, it was probably another $1,000 worth of accessories.
Okay. Wow.
And he delivered it.
Can't go wrong there.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool, man. I don't have any of the hand-me-down or good deal on any of my equipment, but
Yeah.
I
He
actually,
lives about 40 minutes from me.
that's good. Do you have a big bandsaw too?
I have no bandsaw.
Okay. Do you have a drill press or anything like that?
No drill press.
Jointer? I got a jointer for you if you want to come get it. It's brand new. It doesn't even have 5 minutes of use on it. It's a nice Laguna.
What's wrong with it?
Mike's lazy to set the fence up. I can't get the fence to be square, and I didn't spend any time on it yet. So, and basically, my table saw sits this way, and it sits this way, and I can't run shit through it because I have to reorganize this whole shop. So,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be doing that. I was going to open up a shop and make it bigger, but nah, not anymore.
I have a planer, table saw, CNC, hand tools.
And what kind of CNC do you use?
I have the long mill.
Okay, how do you like it?
It's okay.
I got a buddy who has one, a long mill.
I would like to have a Onefinity.
Yeah?
The more I see it, especially in person, and everyone I know has it, and there's no complaints whatsoever. Mine, I got it when they did when it first came out, and some of the parts are 3D printed.
Okay.
So when we had it in storage,
Did it warp
all
or
the
something?
support feet kind of melted.
Jeez.
It wasn't in like a very
Kinda
hot location.
melted.
Yeah. So when I turned it on the first time here and tried to move it, it wouldn't move past the support. I'm like,
Okay.
what in the world? And then I noticed all the supports, usually like this, kind of went like this.
Oh.
So I had to order all new support pieces, basically take the whole thing apart, put it back together.
Okay. Yeah. How
But
big
it's
is the
been good.
bed?
It's was it 30 by 30, 36 by 36,
All right.
I think. So it's pretty. I mean, it does everything I need to, and it paid itself off in like a month when I got it. So
Yeah, no doubt. They make a big difference when you're engraving flags by hand with a Dremel,
yes,
and then you get a CNC.
yes,
It's absolutely fantastic.
just sit there and watch it. Yep.
Yeah, do you still do that? Or do you walk away?
I mean, I'll be like in and out sometimes, depending on how long the carve is. But
Right.
I don't leave it alone more than a minute or two at a time.
Okay. I used to stare
So
at
it freaks me out. Yeah.
and now I'm okay where I'll just do something else and look over at it, make sure something's not flying off this, the spindle or something.
Yep.
I had a woman reach out to me about doing a Blackhawks. I talked about it in last week's show, Blackhawks wedding guests book sign thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her I would make her a mock-up. So I took some aspen, which is kind of a soft hardwood. Does that make sense? It's like right below poplar, I think. But it's nice and like white. And she wanted it burned. So I did a mock-up 1/3 the size of what her sign would be. Burned it. Put it on the CNC. My Blackhawks logo. She wants the Blackhawks, Chicago Blackhawks head, which is very intricate.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of feathers and stuff. So I made it maybe, she wants the head to be 12 by 12 and the big one. So this one had to be 4.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty small. And I used a nice engraving bit. And first of all, I don't like the way it engraved it.
Mm-hmm.
Made a mess. And it did like pockets where it wasn't supposed to be pockets. It was just supposed to be outlined. It was like things on the head's cheek and stuff. It made a hole.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the way it looks. So I took a picture of it. This is just a smaller version of what she's going to get, and sent it to her, and said, this is it. Looks like shit, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see if she's like okay, or if she'll want something different. Because I thought,
Why did it do the pockets and stuff weird?
I don't know. I have to, because everything was just supposed to be outlines with the engraving bit, and no, I didn't choose pocketing or pocket hole, or no pockets. So I got to look at the file itself and maybe clean it up a little bit and make sure stuff is snipped and not making, just to make the lines and not a pocket. I don't know. I got to look into it. Or just do them separately. Break it up into 3 different carvings where one's the outline, and then maybe I use a 90-degree bit to do the pockets, or see if I can't redo the pockets with an outline. I don't know. As much as I've used that machine, I'm not great with it. I need to take a class.
What software do you use?
I use Vectric VCarve Pro. So it's
I'm
great.
still rocking the easel.
Okay. Well,
But
mine came with Carbide Create, but I didn't. On occasion,
I was talking to the Carveco guys at Workbench, and
yeah,
because easel now you have to pay too. So
is it a web-based?
It is.
Or okay.
And Carveco is not.
Yeah, I looked at the Carveco software or whatever. It looks pretty intuitive, and I like those guys are great. So
Yep. I think it's like $15 a month or something.
$15 a month.
Yeah.
I spent like almost $800 for the software.
Yep, that's something that.
But I can use it on any machine. So my plan is to get a bigger machine, one of those 4x8s, and then I can still use it on that, and I'll be familiar with it. Well, those guys are really making some noise out there now.
Yeah, I keep hearing it.
Sorry, guys.
It's not too bad. I just hear like humming of some sort. Yeah, $15 a month for the regular Carveco.
Okay.
And easel, they have like a professional one that you can pay for, but I've had it so long back in the day they had free days.
Okay.
So if I have to do any V-carve or anything, I have 4 days a month to do it, and I just select if I want to do it that day. So if I know I have a lot of stuff, I would just wait for one day and knock it all out. So I wouldn't have to pay for it.
Right. Benefits and pros and cons, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's free, yet because it's free, you have to do certain things on certain days.
Yep.
All right.
So I might change. We'll see.
I just had a flag or sold 2 flags and paid for my VCarve Pro. So that's how you know what I mean? I just put something on the list, sell some stuff, buy whatever's on the list. Mm-hmm. So once I pay myself back for supplies and stuff. So that's how it pretty much
with VCarve. Do you have a big flag order too?
Yeah, I'm working on a 15 flag order. So
that's the one that came through your Etsy?
Yeah, and then I had to pay a couple $100 in Etsy fees. So
why did it do that?
Don thinks that I might have Etsy advertising on, and you can shut that off. Mm-hmm. So the next big order, I'm going to just send them to my website and then say, I'll make a listing on my website, and you purchase it on my website, and then I won't get hammered with. Because it's costing me a couple $100 now.
Did it say it was like a percentage of it, or was it like a flat fee per
I think it's a flat fee. I tried to do the breakdown, but I haven't really had time since the sale came in because I've been so busy. So I just looked at it, got mad, realized that I won't let that happen again, and I'll figure out why it happened later. But Don sent me a link last week after the show about how to turn off the Etsy outside ad stuff. So maybe that'll help. I got to look into that and do that, and hopefully that'll take care of that. So I'm working on those. Yesterday, I made a mistake when I cut them. I cut them all. She wanted 11 by 20, except for the American flag, which is going to be in the middle. So I cut them all. I took a 1 by 12 and cut them at 20 inches, and they're 11 and a quarter inches wide, actually. So I still have to run them through, the table saw to get them at 11, unless, like Colombia and like Sierra Leone, a couple of them have different colored stripes that go left to right. So if I cut the stripe off, then that takes an 1/8 inch off each time, and when I glue them back together and they're painted, it'll be 11 inches. What I didn't do is leave them long, because like Peru and Haiti, they're like red, white, and red, and I want to keep them crisp lines, so I was going to cut them and paint them and then put them together. Well, I didn't make them long enough. they should have been an extra quarter of an inch longer. So no, I'm just going to paint them with tape and stuff and hope. If they come out nice, if they don't, I'll toss it and they'll just eat it and make them the other way that I wanted to. But
I've had good luck with tape. I've made a couple that are like spray painted signs or spray painted flags, and I never had a problem with it.
I think I'll let them sit for like a week in between colors, so I don't,
that should be fine. I probably only waited a day.
Okay.
And I think it was fine.
Yesterday, I took 9 of them that are going to be the actual horizontal style, where the colors go horizontally, not vertically, and I applied sanding sealer on both sides. So I'll sand all that down. Then I can prime the one side, sand it nice and smooth, make sure it's clean, and then I can start putting paint down on and stuff. So we'll see. So I had my table filled with 9 flags and a large American flag, which I cut yesterday, ripped down, and did all the staining on. I think I need one more coat of white on it. Let me show you, and you can tell me what you think. I don't like the white stain I buy. I buy Varathane.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It looks white. It's hard to see
with the quality.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you won't be able to see it clearly until the show is actually on the YouTube. But I did 3 coats, and I started disliking this white paint so much that in the past or the white stain so much in the past when I've done a big like Chicago flag where it's just white and blue, I actually take white paint and water it down so it looks like stain and still allows the burn to come through. And you have to use less coats and it dries faster and it's not as messy. But this time I thought, screw it, I'll just use the white stain. So I might do one more coat of stain on the white stripes today. And then that'll be ready to be glued up.
How long do you leave the stain on there before you wipe?
The white stain I just leave on for an extended period of time, usually like 4 minutes or so. I don't want it to get blotchy or anything. When I use the blue and red, I'll stain the boards, and when I'm done staining the last one, I go right back to the first one and wipe it off because it'll get too hard to remove and it looks like crap.
When I did some of the wooden flags with the color stains, I would burn it and then I would just basically soak it with the stain, just put it on there heavy, and I just let it sit for not a long time, but probably 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I always had good results because at first I was doing like multiple coats, and I did it that way, and it held the color a lot better. All
right. Well, usually it's...
But don't ruin your piece for that advice.
Right. Well, I don't want to have to remake that one. Right. So that's all I'm working on down here right now is just all this flag stuff. And then at Blackhawk's wedding sign thing. So waiting for her to get back to me. I sent her the picture yesterday. We'll see if she wants to do. And then I don't think I'm going to be taking many orders once I get to May because I'm leaving, to go to Idaho for about a month and a half. So I'm going to put the shop on vacation mode so I don't take any orders and stuff. And then when I get home, it's just work on the house. And then I'll turn everything back on. And if I get an order, I'll get one, but I want to finish the house. So I won't be out like pounding the pavement for business like I was originally going to do when I retire. I'll let the work come to me. And if it comes to me, I'll do it as it comes in, piecemeal stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So once the house is done, then I can get back to doing it full time. All right. Hey, they got this cool transition sound in here. We can transition over to law enforcement. All I got to do is hit this button. Ready?
I am ready.
Did you hear it?
I heard nothing. So that was great.
Oh, here we go. That's a preview. Right, let's try it now. I just hit the live button, so this might work now. Ready? All right. That concludes the woodworking portion of our show. Now we're going to head over to the law enforcement side. There we go.
Heard it that time.
Okay. So magically, we are now in law enforcement mode. See how that works?
Whoop, whoop. Yes.
Whoop, whoop. So, Matt, how long have you been a police officer?
A little over 15 years.
15 years. All right. And you've got 13 to go-ish.
With sick time, yep.
Yeah. I see you throw that sick time in there, man. That's amazing. You can get a whole year off by just using sick time or 2.
Yeah, my goal is to retire when I'm right at 50,
Good.
if not 49.
And you're going to stay where you're at? You guys are going to stay where you're at when you retire?
Probably.
Okay. That's good to be where you're supposed to be already.
Yep.
Not have to leave.
Once the country keeps going downhill, we might just flee. Go somewhere
Run
else.
like hell?
Yes.
Yeah. And where would you flee to? Canada?
I don't know. There's got to be something. No, not Canada. Nope.
No, too cold?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
I wouldn't mind living in Italy, but you have to have a sponsor.
Yeah, there's a couple, what is it, Denmark? Or there's one that's real popular right now for Americans leaving.
Yeah.
I think it's Denmark or Norway.
Okay. I know Panama's really good if you're an American, and they have an awesome economy, and they speak English, and the cost of living is pretty low, but the literacy rate's fantastic. So that's a good place for expats to go. Looked into it. I know someone who was looking. His name's Mike.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to be that far from family, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
So you're on overnights. Anything fun happening lately that you can talk about? Anything interesting that may have happened?
Well, the last 2 weeks we were on day shift. And I'm trying to think of anything that I would like to talk about. We helped out the state, take a guy in for a murder warrant.
Oh, okay. Did it go over smoothly?
It did. It went pretty good. He didn't really have a chance to react, so.
Where was he? Was he knee deep in some hooker?
No, he was
deep in a hooker,
walking out of his work and
surprise.
getting into his car. Yeah. So he was about leaving for the day. But
okay.
He did not get to go home that day.
Did you then tell his boss, he won't be in tomorrow? I like you.
Yeah, I think they were aware. There's a lot of spectators there. So kind of came out of nowhere. It was a good surprise for everybody.
Pulled the old Law and Order on him. Walk right into his work or his work parking lot. The feds, you said?
Yeah. Say what?
Oh, state police.
State, yep. It was I guess they were helping out a very small agency somewhere for a homicide.
Wow.
And so the state was investigating it because the agency that it actually occurred in, I think they have like 3 or 4 people.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. There's plenty of towns here that have that.
Okay. I always wanted to be a chief in one of those small towns.
Really? Why?
It just seems, I always wanted to be a chief in a small town just because I think I like small town policing, where you can be involved with the community more than we are. I don't know about you guys, but even though we're a small community, we're right next to Chicago. We're not small. I mean, you know, it's really busy all the time. I like the old mom and pop hardware store, you know, one stoplight kind of town thing where you can police and have breakfast with the community and be a member of the community. I always thought that would be fun.
You should come to North Carolina. There's plenty of places like that.
Yeah, I know. And I should have left years ago, you know, but now I'm done.
Come down here, transfer whatever you can, get sworn, be a chief for a little while.
Yeah. One more move. One more move, honey.
All that stuff behind you got to pack up.
Yeah. And all these tools. I might sell the jointer with the house. I don't know. You guys going to get a shop and a jointer.
Yep.
For $2,000 extra, he can have the jointer.
Just find the right guy. Or girl. Whoever.
Or girl, right. That's not... Or non-binary.
Or whatever.
That's possible.
The right maker of whatever.
Yeah. Other than that, grabbing that guy for a homicide warrant. Anything else?
Not much. It was day shift. I'm not a fan of all the calls on day shift. It's frauds and reports, shopliftings.
Yeah.
Nothing that too exciting for me, at least.
We still get a bunch of bullshit stuff on days. But like, this didn't happen to me, but I'm going to say a few months ago, we were on a call for a domestic, and my buddy Neil was driving down the road we finished the call, and he was leaving, and he saw some guy I don't know if you guys have this problem with motorcycles and mini bikes and stuff, and dirt bikes on the street illegally, just ripping and running. But he saw this guy in a mini bike, which is like maybe it was an 80 or something, a small motorcycle, tore right past us when we were on the call. Neil saw him. Neil was done with his call, so he runs out to his car and jumps in his car, and then the guy disappears. So Neil's driving around this apartment complex because that's the last place he saw him, and he parks probably 3 buildings away, and now he's out on foot, and he's walking around behind the buildings, and he looks like to the south and sees the guy outside with the motorcycle, and the guy's just sitting there and standing next to the motorcycle, not paying any attention to anybody, doesn't see Neil. So Neil starts creeping up on him slowly. I don't know what he was going to do, probably just tow the bike, give him a ticket or whatever. But the guy turns around at the last minute and sees Neil standing there, and he picks up the motorcycle and runs into his apartment and shuts the door. He threw his helmet, he dropped his helmet, picks up the motorcycle, runs inside the building. Neil runs after him. Guy shuts the door, carrying the motorcycle into the building, and that was the end of that. We couldn't get the bike, got the helmet. So Neil took his helmet, but couldn't get the bike.
Didn't get your bike. I'm taking your helmet.
Oh my God! But we haven't had, a couple DUIs, DOAs, and some arsons, and I got had some crackhead passed out at the ATM, and he passed out behind the wheel of his car, and then at some point, someone in the bank woke him up, what are you doing here? And they were having an air conditioning unit put on the roof of the roof of the bank. So after they woke him up and told him to leave, he's like, okay. They go inside. He gets out of his car and walks over to the crane and gets in the crane. And he was going to start driving away in the crane when one of the construction guys who had got out of the crane to go check on something turned around and saw him in the crane. Ran over there and pulled him out and almost started beating the piss out of him before we showed up, But he thought it was his car. He was so doped out. He had got out of his own car and went into a crane. That would have been a fun chase, I think. Chasing the crane down the street.
Can y'all chase?
No.
Can you follow?
We can follow with the long eye, as Brandon says. Got the long eye. I can see him. Yeah. The town south of us chases all the time, and
can you chase violent felons?
Yeah. Okay. You can't chase.
So I don't know if it's no chase at all, or
no. Yeah, if it's a violent felon, then yeah, to a point.
Kind of same for us.
If you can identify him, then no. You got to get a warrant and go get him later. But if you don't know who it is, then yes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, too many problems happen in chases where the innocent public dies on occasion.
Yep. So, my old agency, we could chase most anything, and we were trained on pit maneuver, rolling roadblock, all that kind of stuff.
Very fun.
And here, not too much.
The first night, my buddy became our sergeant on our night shift about a year and a half ago, and we had these shitbags from the city just stealing ATMs, breaking into liquor stores, actually yanking ATMs out of the store.
The chains or whatever.
The windows, yeah. So we ended up getting in a chase with one of them in a stolen Jeep Cherokee, because SRT. That's a big problem down by us, or up by us. Chargers and Durangos and Cherokee SRTs, they're all stolen.
Yep.
So we ended up getting in this chase with this guy, and we chased him into 4 jurisdictions down. 3 of us on the chase. There's only 4 guys on the street. The 4th guy's driving around town he doesn't know. He's all by himself. But this crew isn't still working, and the 3 of us, including the new sergeant, are chasing this asshole. And he finally got away from us. I lost him on a side street somewhere in some residential area, and my sergeant, I stop in the middle of the street, pissed off. And the whole time I'm waiting for my sergeant to say, to call it off, just to say stop. Never hear it. And next thing you know, he pulls up right next to me, slams on the brakes. He rolled down my windows, and he's like, God damn it. And I'm like, I was waiting for you to call me off. He's like, I'm not calling you off. Fuck these guys. Let's get them. I'm like, yes. But he got away. So, haven't been in a chase since. Can't chase many people while you're sitting at a desk, Matt.
Yeah. Those letters don't run away from you when you're mailing out for some tickets.
No, I just clicked the button that says approve red light violation.
So what do? Watch video of it and say, yes, they ran a red light.
Exactly. And I have to check to make sure the registration number, I say 1028
matches.
Is that the code? Yeah, matches the vehicle and all that kind of stuff, But I was watching one the other day. I think it was Wednesday. And my buddy Danny was behind me doing some training stuff on the computer. And I'm watching them clicking. And I've gotten a habit of now actually looking at names, because before I would just check the 28s and make sure it matches the car. I wouldn't look at the name. And I saw one that came back to my buddy in a Corvette. He used to be a copper with us. And I'm like, I take a screenshot, take a picture of the computer. I send it to him. I'm like, hey, don't you know what the color red means? He calls me up. He can't see the picture. He calls me up. He's like, what did I do? I said, he just ran a red light. There was a left-hand turn on, but the arrow had gone off, So he went through the red. And I go, in your Corvette. He's like, oh, and Danny's in the background. Danny yells, you owe us money. He's like, okay, I'll buy you guys lunch on Friday. I'm like, all right, you don't have to. No, I'll buy you lunch on Friday. I'm like, all right. And then Friday I had a wisdom tooth pulled and I didn't get lunch. So he still owes me lunch, and I'll touch base with him Monday when I get to work. But, yeah, that's it, man. I'm just doing those boring ass things and then expungements. So
doing the Lord's work.
Doing the Lord's work, yeah.
Somebody has to.
24 more working days.
I'm proud of you.
Apparently.
Finishing the career off, looking at red light tickets.
Yeah. It's
finishing
not the
that
way I
out on the
wanted to
top.
go out. Yeah. I would have preferred a foot chase or some big
At least you won't get hurt.
bust. I know. That's what everyone says.
You might
God
have
bless you. You got
carpal
5
tunnel or
weeks to
something.
go. Oh, I already have that. Yeah, so it's just getting worse.
We had those red light cameras in our town for a while, and I started there in 2015. They haven't worked since then, but the cameras are still up.
Okay.
And people still call, like, asking about it, or they're worried that the cameras are working, and basically they're up, and then if a car gets into a crash,
you can use them.
They get rid of it. Well, no, it doesn't record or anything.
Oh, if a crash
The cameras are
occurs
gone,
and hits the
but
pole
the posts are still there.
camera's
Yeah.
mounted on, you get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they take them down. But Raleigh, next door, still had them, and one of our officers got a red light ticket sent to our department, and
in the
the
squad.
chief was just,
That's supposed to get there's a thing on there that says law enforcement. You just click it and the ticket goes away.
the
Or
chief was just
emergency
like,
vehicle.
yeah. Well, he wasn't, I mean, he's going to court.
He's on duty.
I'm aware,
Yeah. Did he get in trouble?
but that's how it's seen. He did not get in trouble.
Okay,
But
good.
the chief was like, hey, you got some mail to the department from your car. I'm sure you'll take care of it. So I guess he paid it or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, I would have all kinds of trouble with that one.
We've got parking tickets and stuff before from downtown Raleigh
On
and
squads.
marked cars.
Who runs these departments? That's absolutely ludicrous. So nothing too exciting going on in either one of our places, at least with me. All right, cool. Well, usually at this time, Matt, we do the names of the falling officers and dogs, as you know. And last week we did everything since January. So I'm looking at the list, and luckily I don't see anything that happened to an officer since the last time we recorded, which was the 17th. So I don't think we have any names to add today to that list. Thank God.
Yep.
So you don't have to read any doggy names today. So I do appreciate you joining me today. I know it's your weekend and your time is valuable, and it's valuable to me. So I appreciate you coming on. And
Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. And so everyone knows, we have this little chat group where we're trying to help each other out on Instagram.
Yeah.
No one's really following the rules. Or we're
Not
just
at all.
not all posting anymore. I don't really know.
Very true.
Yeah, but Matt's been in this chat group that we put together 4 years ago, right? 2020-ish?
Was it? Maybe.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's been a while.
yeah, if you guys haven't seen Matt's work when he is in the shop, it's fantastic. Head on over to Patriotic Pines NC so you can check his stuff out. And hopefully he'll be getting back in the shop and finishing his customers' orders
Yep.
before they call you and complain.
They know. They're aware.
They're aware. Okay. Any words of wisdom
No
you want to
rush.
leave us with?
I don't think so. I don't know.
The producer's potting up the music. Nothing?
Oh, no. Nope. I guess that means it's time to go. I hear the cops coming, so
Here come the cops.
yeah, I gotta go hide.
Cops, they ruin everything.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks to Surf Prep. Thanks to Matt. Episode 65. Stay safe in the shop and on the streets. Peace, Matt.
Later.
Boom.
Done.